Hey there, Sank, everybody. Welcome back for another amazing video. Right now, I'm going to be talking about your entrepreneurial skills and how you can increase them and how, as a whole, you become a better businessman. Okay? So without any further ado, let's get this video started. Let's just say you want to become an entrepreneur or you want to become a businessman, but you don't know where to get started or what's going on. Do I have the skills? Should I leave my job and all that stuff? Let's break this down in step by step. First thing first, like in everything in life and in the world, some people and some things are just built in a certain situation where they're better at something than others. For example, if you have a family that's business oriented, you have seen, from the age of 1 all the way till the age of 15, 16, whatever age you're at, your parents or you've seen your family do business. So you know certain skills, you know some traits. This might um
Talo. Sorry.
sometimes be a bad thing too, because you might be so indented with old ways that you might not be able to accept new ways into your system. Anywho, so as a whole, you've seen entrepreneurship, you've seen business, and so your mentality is already halfway there. Or you hate business because you've seen your family do it, and you're like, I don't want to be in this. This is absolute chaotic and it's crazy, and it's not for me.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
So then you leave it. So some people are just better at it, and some people are just born with some skill sets. So for example, talking, being charismatic, having sales understanding, being very good with humans, understanding someone's personality within the first 5 minutes of a discussion. These things are just sometimes built within you because you've had those experiences over the years and years of years, because you are naturally more extroverted. So it's okay if you don't have it. You can learn it over time. What do you do to learn these things? Do not go to university necessarily for this. It's not important to go to university for this. Your professors who are teaching you this course, unfortunately, are not successful entrepreneurs. I mean, there's a reason why their professors are not millionaires. Being very bluntly honest here, with all due respect to all of my entrepreneurship professors out there. So not necessarily go to university for this. Now you can go to the university incubators for this, because those incubators have a lot of business startups who are very well linked with a lot of resources from the community that are helping them build those businesses. And sometimes you only get access to them if you're in university. So if you're already in university, get connected with your incubator and start working with them, and they'll help you in a lot of ways. What you can do is you can start studying entrepreneurship courses online. Now you're like, Ahmed, well, a real businessman doesn't need courses. No. I'll explain to you. There's some technical things in business, which might be the 20% things in business, which help you go from being a 60% successful to about 90% successful rate. Those 20% things are only taught from a technical perspective, and you need an institutional based or be a systematic way of understanding how entrepreneurship works. And so for that, you can go on courses from Udemy, LinkedIn, Harvard. I mean, there's all these courses from big universities across the world for free. And you have the biggest university, the same platform you're watching me on, YouTube. So go through a proper systematic course from these platforms, and then inshallah you'll get the base understanding of some things about entrepreneurship. You'll learn some things. Now, let's say you've been through this. Now what? The next thing is you need to understand who you are and what business can you really get into. There's some people who are naturally born to work 16 hours in front of a laptop, and they can code an entire app together. So for those people, it's that business. But for some people, are phenomenal at cooking, are phenomenal at restaurant management, are phenomenal at hospitality. They understand how to work with people, how to talk to them, how to finesse people into doing certain things for them. These things are important. When I use the word finesse, I don't mean in a bad way. I mean in a good way. It's like, you know how to talk to them, understand their problems, give them a solution, and from that orient a work for them where it also benefits you. So marketing, in essence, sales in essence. So if you're better at that, then that business is for you. So understand which one you want to do. Then reach out to leaders within that industry. Right? If you're going to go into tech, or if you're going to restaurants, if you're going to go into sports, if you're going to go into radio, if you're going to go into YouTubing, reach out to leaders within that industry. And you might be able to reach out to 1,000 leaders. And I say these numbers very honestly. 100 people, 150 leaders, 300, 500, 1,000 leaders, and maybe 2% or 1% will take you seriously and give you the time back. to to ask you, what are you looking for? How can I help? If you get that, respect it. Respect it, because you're potentially talking to what you want to become. You need to understand what you want to become is your goal. And if your goal is giving you the time, which is potentially could be in 10 years, in 7 years, or 20 years, is giving you the time right now to sit with you, respect it. Dignify that person and go in there fully educated and fully ready to ask the right questions, have a great conversation, and build a bond with this person, right? Sometimes you might have to pay for this. For good quality on mentorship or leadership, you have to pay money for it sometimes. And that's okay. That's how life works.
Perfect.
You're not gonna get everything for free. This isn't how the world works. This is why there's this few of the greatest businessmen, few of the greatest entrepreneurs, so are willing to spend $5,000 for 1 hour with this one person, because that one person has 30 years of experience in this specific industry, and they can give you the answer that you need, that you've been looking for like 3 years, and no one's been able to give it to you, but they can give it to you in 1 hour. That's why their time is valuable. So if it means you gotta take them out on a nice fancy dinner, if it means that you have to kind of learn about them, literally go on Google and learn everything about them, because when you're having a conversation about them, it is phenomenal to bring up points about them in a way of appraising them in the middle of the conversation. I know I do this often when I'm networking with somebody who I look up to. I sometimes learn things about them and I bring it up. Oh, I know when you were in Medina and you spent this time. I saw your work on in this and there. And they're like, oh, okay, well, good, you did your research, and yeah, and this is how it was, and they appreciate that. They're like, this guy really does appreciate my work, and they do truly dignify me, and so they want to spend more time with you anyways. Anywho, you build a bond with them. Once you build that bond with them, you try to see how, in essence, in some way or form, not necessarily asking them, but in one way or form, you can bring some format of value to them. Sometimes some of these guys don't understand some of the newer technology. For example, they'll be genius at whatever exact industry you want, but they won't know how TikTok works. And they've been thinking about, how can I break into TikTok? And you're like, TikTok, minor stuff. I'll show you right now, right? But you don't do it in a way that, okay, how can I help you? It's more like, oh, you were talking about how you want to get into TikTok, right? If you want, I can kind of show you, I do this, and I have experience with some of the TikTok. Maybe it might be something beneficial to you. And that person realizes he still holds a hierarchy of leadership and mentorship, uh, against you, not against you, like in comparison to you, and he gets something in return, and so then that person finds you valuable at the same time. But you gotta always keep them in the mental mindset that, look, you are my mentor, because the reality are they are your mentor. They're still teaching you. They are gonna help you get to that goal. So getting the right leadership and mentorship will help you establish that initial technical knowledge you got into a potential solution and a business plan for you to implement. Okay. And then you can start going and start working towards your business, and taking their guidance and continuously grow. And if they take you as a mentee, and they truly have a relationship with you, they will try to help you. Now, I'll tell you, there's this point of inversion that comes in, because this is the reality of life. Okay. It's the point when you really realize you're smarter than your own teacher, and your teacher doesn't like that. You'll have the inversion, and I don't want to talk about this right now on this video, but I'm going to quickly tell you guys. That's when you have to realize, is my mentor becoming toxic towards me, or is this mentor still staying as a mentor and as an older brother, as a support system to my business? If he's starting to become toxic towards me, I may have to very respectfully, dignifiedly, because that man taught you everything you know about this business, or taught you a lot about what you know. Even if he taught you one thing about what you're doing right now, you still have to dignify. You have to respect it, because they made you better, right? If they made you better in whatever way possible, then you ask Allah for help, and you say, Allah, somehow, in a very dignified way, let me be able to segregate myself from this, or separate myself from this person, to a healthy extent where it's not business oriented, but it's just maybe personal. We only meet on personal terms. We only meet, let's go have a dinner. How's the family? The kids are good, mashallah, Allah bless you. And then you go back to, like, okay, we go on our own ways, or you go out for dinners, or you go out for family events where you don't talk about business. There's a way you can bring that up, and it's possible. I've had these experiences, and so this is what I'm saying. That there's an inversion, but before you get to the inversion, and even in the inversion, be dignifiable, be respectful. Understand these people are your mentors. They're your ustad. They're your teacher. Any person in the world that teaches you one thing, be very respectful towards them, because they made you better in one way. So inshallah, hope you guys like this video. This was more of a theoretical, psychological, and a personal development type of video. Hope you guys are liking these videos. Let me know in the comments below. Check out my other social media. Like, share, subscribe. Take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum.